you all for coming. I know it's raining, so I really appreciate everybody making it over here. And I want to just say a few words about Women in Block and why we're doing these events and why we started doing these events. Women in Block is an association of women in blockchain, professional women in all kinds of areas of blockchain, technology, marketing, regulation, compliance, and so on. And the idea is to give these women a stage to speak. Now, we've had a few events where we just had women speaking and talking about their areas of expertise. So then we decided that we're going to broaden our audience, and obviously open it up to everyone. It was always open to everyone. However, we decided we want to educate ourselves and educate, industry in Israel about different issues. So Stablecoin came about, and I'm very curious about Stablecoin myself. I have lots and lots of questions. So what better way to learn is by organizing a meetup so that we can all learn together from the best and the pros and the leaders in the industry. So we've invited companies, Israeli companies, and also global companies to come and share their knowledge, talk about what they're doing, so that we can all become experts in this field. So Women in Block always have a woman on stage. So whether it's a presenter or a moderator. And I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to open up each panel to 1 or 2 questions. And without further ado, I'd like to invite Rotem is the COO of Irena, and she'll tell us what it is in 1 sentence. And she's going to be moderating this panel and introduce her guests.
So hello everyone, I'm happy to be here, and I'm more happier to see you guys here, although the unstable weather. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Arena, which is a compliance software management solution for banking and financial institutions. The whole purpose of it is to align blockchain with financial standards. I can talk with you about that later, but more importantly, we have a very interesting panel here today with us concerning the market value of stablecoins, what it is today, and where it's going in another 5 years. I would like to invite Eli Mizroch, the CEO of Stablecoin. Eli, here's a... Oh, thank you. You guys hear me? Yes. Yeah, great. Thank you for that, Sai, for answering. And I would also like to invite Yaniv Feldman. Eli here today is the CEO of Stablecoin, a digital currency investment group. They professionalize in managing crypto-based assets, and they also give advisories for ICOs and investing in blockchain technology. Eli is well known for his abilities and professionalism in the traditional financial markets, executive management in Bank Hapoalim and Bezik Group, and he is well known also for his skills and knowledge in the crypto investing arena. Yaniv here is not just only a serial entrepreneur with a strong tech background. I guess you guys have heard of Geek Time. Thank you. Of Geek Time. Well, he's the man leading a tech blog. Also, he is the founder and CEO of One Alpha, a data intelligence platform that provides analysts insights, data, and research concerning the traded crypto assets arena. So, Eli, because of your backgrounds, I would like to start with you and ask you, will stablecoins play a role in the creation of new financial instruments?
Yes, I think so. I think the really interesting thing about stablecoins is that it's a form of programmable money. It's money, it's digital money, but it's pegged, often it will be pegged to a currency. And it's programmable, and if we think about this idea of programmable money, I think just all the opportunities and the innovation that can come from there, we can't even see where it's going to go. I think that the opportunity and the potential is huge for new types of financial derivatives and instruments that I don't think even exist today. So I think the really big picture about stablecoins in the future is the ability to drive real innovation in money and in finance.
Yaniv, with your background in research and everything that's happening today in the crypto arena, I would like to ask you, protocols and exchanges today are creating their native stablecoins. How many stablecoins do we actually need? And will there be a global currency as we originally dreamed like?
So basically, if you think about the way stablecoins behave today, it's sort of like asking, is there a need for a lot of banks? Can there be a lot of different banks competing each other? Basically, stablecoin issuers are doing something similar to what central banks are doing. They're basically taking something and using it as backing for issuance of another type of money. I think that there can definitely be coexistence of multiple types of stablecoins as well, even if they're all working the same way, I mean, like fiat-backed or other kinds. There can be, right now, every issuer has its own terms on how you can issue and what you can redeem and what are the fees that you pay for each of them, what's the minimum or maximum amount of stuff like that, the same as you do with banks. And eventually, you know, I think since crypto in general is more global, then I don't think that there will be hundreds or thousands, but there will definitely be more than one.
Thank you. And Eli, what would be your investment thesis for stablecoins, given that by definition stablecoins are not intended to have the same increase in value as other tokens? How do you in Civil Council see this?
So I think it's an interesting question about investing in stablecoins. There's two levels. One is if you buy a stablecoin to use it or to hold it, then you need to have some understanding of where the underlying asset will go. And if you think that the underlying asset will rise in value, the stablecoin should also rise in value. There's a more interesting place to look at investing in stablecoins, and that's in the platform itself, right? So companies or people that launch stablecoins should have an understanding of how they make money from the stablecoin. Right? There are a lot of interesting models as to how you, by launching a stablecoin, even if I launch today a stablecoin that's pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar, I can make money off that. And there will be more and more innovation in how you make money off that. And I think that's what we're looking at. So we see platforms or companies that have really interesting thinking about how they manage the risk and the return profile of the actual platform. That's where we look at the investments, and I think that we're just at the beginning. There's a lot of money to be made there.
I want to add, I mean, in cryptos in general, we have like two types of companies. One that aim to create a network where the value accrues to the token holders, and most of the companies today are traditional businesses where the value that's being accrued to the shareholders. And what you asked about investing basically is the same as, would you invest in a bank? Or let's say you would get a chance to invest in a central bank of the US right now. Would you do that? Maybe, maybe not. Depends on what your investment thesis is. But right now, if you look at Gemini or Paxos or USDC, even though USDC is supposedly non-profit, basically they charge fees for issuance, or issuance right now is free because they want to increase adoption, but for redemption, and they also get interest for all the money that they have in the bank. As long as they have it in the bank, they get a lot of interest on it. If I remember correctly, the report about Tether was that they made $60 million just from interest on the money that they had sitting in their account, which no one really knows if exists, but you know, that's what the auditor said.
Yeah, it's almost like the banks make off your current account, right? They don't pay you any interest. And I think what is interesting, the other thing I would add here is that it's a low margin business, and you would probably need to invest in a coin or a platform that you think will have really, really high volumes, otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree.
So you would recommend to see stablecoins in a different eye if you're a venture capital or you're a personal investor? How should people like me, how should we look at stablecoins as an investment compared to tokens?
I don't think that for the normal cryptocurrency users, stablecoins are an investment. They're more of a utility. For that purpose, the original goal where stablecoins were created for was to provide a way out of the volatile crypto assets that exist right now without going out to fiat. That's where it started from, and it evolutionized to a lot of different things right now, like e-commerce and actual digital form of decentralized money. But as a user, I don't see a way to make money out of a stablecoin besides actually trading, and that's just going in and out at the right times.
So I'm just going to follow up that with a question. When moon for stablecoins? Currently the market is on 3 billion, right? So can the market cap suppress 100 billion in 5 years? Where do you see it go?
Listen, it's the kind of, it's like asking when moon for the US dollar, right? But obviously, you know, the stablecoins have a market cap that's pegged to the currency that they're trying to peg the price to. Obviously, what you're asking is if the usage will increase, obviously, then the circulation of stablecoins will increase, and you know, from my standpoint, I foresee that to happen, but I don't see it having any effect on the actual value, because the entire purpose of stablecoins is not rising in value or going down in value, no matter what the circulation and the demand is.
What will it take to get there?
So I mean, I'll go to that. I think I get to disagree with you, which is a good thing. I think that we see a lot of trends now that are, I think, allowing more and more institutional money to get into crypto. And I think that the maturitization of stablecoins is becoming much easier to access, more regulated, more transparent, it's another way of allowing institutionals to get more comfort in the crypto market. And I think that the usage over the next couple of years will rise dramatically, and I think that's what will drive the market. So it's not the value of the coin, but it's the number of the coins that we'll see.
I don't see where was disagreement. I completely agree with what you said.
I just got to say that I can disagree with you.
So before we end and open this panel for Q&A from the audience, I would like to know a bit concerning now. Are you betting on a superior decentralized technology or more of a pragmatic centralized solution for today's needs for stablecoins?
That's actually a very good question. Right now, when you try to peg a digital asset to fiat, it's very hard to do that without actual fiat backing. There are two types of other solution. One is backing by crypto, like Make or Die, and the other is programmatic, like basically creating an algorithmic central bank. The latter one hasn't proven itself up until now. The biggest project that worked on it recently shut down and returned money to investors. And Make or Die has been making very interesting progress. As to the fact of who of them will win, I'm not sure there will be a clear winner, because there are use cases and different types of users to use them. Like Eli said, I think institutionals will probably flock to the fiat-backed ones because they're easier, they're regulated, and it makes their access to the field much easier. While the crypto-backed ones like Make or Die, they reinvent a new type of economy, a new type of finance. There is a new hashtag for it called decentralized finance, or DeFi, that we're starting to see right now, which creates a lot of instruments for making money in a world of decentralized finance. You can basically deposit Ether to get DAI, put the DAI on a compound, and just utilize the difference of interest between all the services to make money. So it creates a new type of investment vehicles to those that specialize in decentralized finance. So these are two different types. I think that in levels of magnitude, fiat-backed stablecoins will always be much bigger, at least until something happens to change like global macro. but they will both coexist.
Yeah, I think this whole vision of decentralized economies and self-governing organizations, that's where it all started, and it's a great ideal. It's being hijacked now by centralized organizations and a lot of corporates and really big money that's coming in. I think both will coexist, and I think both will flourish. I don't think that we've seen the end of the decentralized world. I hope not, and I really don't think we have. And I think that decentralized economy will find ways of bringing really interesting financial innovation. And I think on the other side, we'll have strong fiat-backed, institutional-backed, centralized organizations that will also drive this sector forward. So I think we'll see both. It's different types of bets, though, right? I mean, I think that the decentralized one you may have higher returns with higher risks if you invest in a platform of the stablecoins, where on the fiat bank will be low margins. You just need to get the huge volumes and you'll make money.
Okay, great. So, Eli and Yaniv, thank you so much for sharing your inputs on the market. If the audience has a question for Eli or Yaniv, this is the time.
There was the question earlier about the difference between security tokens and stablecoins, like on real estate. The difference is that when you have a security token that represents real estate, its value is supposed to rise with the real estate, and you're supposed to get dividends if the real estate pays rent and so on and so on. While real estate backed stablecoins, their value remains stable. What represents their value is the fact that they have assets that are worth something behind them. So the entire revenue model and the entire value accretion are in two different places.
And also, I don't think that the definition is exactly the same. I don't think that asset-backed means stable.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So stable usually, or almost always, has some asset that it's pegged to. It's different backed and pegged, and asset-backed is not necessarily.
And if you try to do stablecoin based on real estate, which I think is not that good of an idea, you have to have a mechanism that will actually issue or burn tokens that when the value of the real estate changes. So it's not that stable in the basis.
How about oil dark?
What?
Oil gas.
Same thing. The value changes, and the problem is with that sense is that you have to keep rather big reserve, because you can't burn tokens that you don't own. If someone buys the tokens from you and then the oil price drops and you have to burn a lot of tokens, you can't take it from someone who bought it for you. So you need to have your own very big reserve to compensate for changing prices.
Yeah, but I think there's just one other thing that I want to add. It might help for a lot of the question. When we talk about stablecoins, I think it's almost inherent to all of us are saying it needs to be stable in relation to, let's say, the dollar, right? But you could decide what your benchmark is, right? So you might decide that you want a stablecoin, which is a type of a derivative, which is pegged to the price of a barrel of oil or the price of an ounce of gold or whatever it is. It might not be stable in terms of dollars, but it will be stable in terms of their underlying assets. So whenever we say stablecoin, we need to mention what benchmark are we talking about.
Yeah, for me, Bitcoin is stable. Everything else is what's moving.
Stablecoins are actually need to be backed by fiat.
Pegged.
They're pegged. Backed is a mechanism to keep the pegging.
Okay, so we're talking about fiat, for example, that are used to peg it for value. We mentioned now that if you try to peg it to oil or something, to a commodity, the commodity is volatile.
But the coin is stable to the commodity, right? That's what stablecoin means. It's backed to an asset that has a value that rises and falls.
The stability, comes from the pegging. Okay, so that's the difference between pegging and backing. Backing is what gives the asset its value. Pegging is the mechanism that tries to hold the value pegged to a specific asset, commodity, fiat, or whatever. You can peg it to anything you want. You can peg it to the price of lamps, you can peg it to a real estate or whatever, but you will need a mechanism to control that peg. If the pegging is the same as the backing, it's rather simple. It's the same as normal stablecoins. If the backing is different than the pegging, like let's say I peg the stablecoin to US dollar, but I peg it with oil or real estate, then you would need a more sophisticated mechanism to keep the peg. Todd, you had a question?
Thank you. So, any thoughts about the platform that Stablecoin run over it? Would it continue to be Ethereum, ERC20, or do you see a shift towards other platforms?
I have a very strong view on that. I think that if in the future, and this is an institutional view, if we keep on having all the stable coins on, let's call them for a second, crypto platforms that have a lot of volatility in them because of how they're built, there's a platform risk there that needs to be priced, and I think the price over time will be higher. So I think that really strong stable coins that will see incredibly high volumes will have a dedicated blockchain solution for that coin, be it decentralized or centralized, doesn't matter. But you can't take additional platform risk on very high volumes, which might even dwarf the volumes on that blockchain.
I completely agree with Eli, and I want to add, the reason most stablecoins right now, besides Tether, are sitting on Ethereum is that it's easiest to integrate an ERC20 token into exchanges, into wallets, into everything else. The platform risk is definitely an issue, especially what we're seeing right now with Ethereum going hard fork to Constantinople and everything that's going to happen afterwards. So let's say even if Ethereum is right now the second largest, and I hope that it will survive and keep on thriving, it's still a rather big platform risk, like Eddie said. And what I think will happen is that there will be two types. One where stablecoins will actually run their own kind of blockchain, whether centralized or decentralized. And two is that there will be what we call side chains, where they run on a different platform, but they will settle into the most secure one, which will probably be Bitcoin. And we're also seeing a few projects working on stuff like that today.
Yes, you.
Somehow it relates to your last question. In the case of the scenario for Black Swan,
Could you just raise your voice a bit, sorry?
in case of the Black Swan, when the offer to market would crush government, and what's your opinion about how it would affect the volatility of the stable coins?
So I'll repeat the question. The question was, in the case of a crypto market crash, I would assume, because there are two types. There's a global market crash and there's a crypto market crash. So in case of a crypto market crash, what will happen to the value of stable coins? Economic-wise, the value shouldn't be damaged in any way. In worst case scenario, people won't need stable coins, so they will redeem them from the issuer. So the demand will grow weaker, and for, I'd say, like specific periods of time, the value might decrease by a little bit, as long as the issuer will keep on redeeming the stable coins in their pegged pricing. I mean, as long as Gemini will keep accepting Gemini dollar tokens and give $1 back, the pegging should remain. It might go down a little bit in exchanges because there will be like high pressure in selling, but the market will fix itself as long as there's a mechanism that's allowing the sale at $1, because the arbitrage players will fix it.
So the platform risk is that the platform will completely disappear. That's what you're saying. If you're saying, for the same concept, if Gemini keeps backing it, it will survive.
No, I think the platform risk is if the platform fails completely or disappears, and also if it doesn't function well, right? So then it becomes difficult to move in and out of the platform or the price of transaction becomes suddenly prohibitively high. So there's a bunch of platform risks. Also, you might suddenly find that the platform is vulnerable to attacks and to hacking and to things like that. So yeah, I mean, a bunch of risks.
The stablecoins has like a risk, portfolio where market crash is one of them, which is rather small. But what Eddie said about platform risk, about the centralized entities risk, a lot of even in the USDC contractors saying right now that they're not obligated not using the money that they have in the bank, meaning that they can loan it, they can make interest on it, they can lock it somewhere else. So, if something happens and they start, and they're basically saying that they're fractional reserving, if someone does a run in the bank, they can fail as well. So there are a lot of risks involving stablecoins, like any other financial system.
Yeah, don't assume that because it's a stablecoin and it's back to the dollar, it's safe.
Yeah.
It's not.
Definitely.
The market cap of stablecoins combined is like 3 billion. If you had to wager what's going to be combined in 5 years.
And that was the moon question before. I think it's pretty much going to be linked to how much institutional money you'll have in the market. That's the main driver, I think.
I want to add to that. I think that right now we're just starting to see adoption of stable coins. Right now, because most of crypto right now is a means for speculation and not actual usage, it's still rather hard to try and understand. I think most of our minds can comprehend how will blockchain, how will crypto look like in 5 or 10 or 20 years. But just as a caveat, I would say, we're starting to see USDC were the first stablecoin that put a goal in using stablecoins as a means for commerce. Right now you'd say, yeah, right, I have PayPal, I can do like credit cards online. It's not, there was digital money before stablecoins, but the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of intermediaries cutting off somewhere between 1% to 10% of every deal in the way. There are a lot of mechanisms up until when the merchant, makes the deal and when he gets the money. And the fact of the matter that we have a native digital currency, a stable coin that I can just pay the merchant and the merchant will get it instantly after is something that didn't exist until now and is just one of the potential use case for a native digital money. We still don't know how such a world would look like and what are all the risks associated with it, but that makes it a little harder to answer what you just asked.
Last question? Yeah, last question. You, yes.
Iris, thank you, Bart. So, as long as I still get my salary in my fiat country monetary system, stablecoin is a very unprecise definition for me because it won't necessarily be pegged to my fiat currency, and then it's quite the opposite of what most coins in ICO or good ICO project. If I'm a gamer and I want to hold some of my fortune in a gaming platform, it won't be volatile with what happens in my country or other countries and other fiat systems. So stable coins are just an entry in and out for fiat money.
There was a question there somewhere?
I'm asking if there's anything do you find it contradicting to all the community financial forms that were the height of cryptocurrency until recently?
I will try to answer. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure I understood the question. But the fact of the matter is that stable coins represent a peg value of something that already exists in the real world. And digital assets or digital currencies represent something that didn't exist or doesn't exist in the real world. And therefore, until the world will learn how to value them, their value will always be volatile compared to what exists in the real world and where you're getting paid. If you're asked about gaming, there's V-Bucks in Fortnite, which is basically a form of digital money or virtual money. Right now, it only exists in the game. It's completely centralized, and you can't do anything with it outside. You can't even sell it to someone else. But if they decide that they want to turn V-Bucks into a stable coin or into a digital currency, I believe that its value will be more volatile than a traditional currency because it doesn't have any pegging mechanism. Even though that I can buy it, you know, in a specific form, because I can't redeem it. I mean, Epic won't buy V-Bucks from me, then the price will definitely fluctuate with regards to supply and demand.
Exactly, but then 1 unit of gaming will always equal 1 unit of gaming.
Yeah, 1 BTC always equals 1 BTC, 1 shekel always equals 1 shekel. That's, you know, physics.
It's a network effect as well. Use it.
So I think we shall wrap it up this panel. Any more questions? I'm sure Yaniv will be happy to answer afterwards. But thank you guys for participating today.
Thank you.